Now, apologies, I don't have any nice fancy slides. One of these days I will get organised and do that. I don't have, in addition to finish off my house, we have actually been rather busy, and I think from what I'm going to show you in a minute, you'll see some of the things that we've been busy with regarding RISC OS, Acorn, 8 and 32-bit. The other thing is, yes, of course, the news, as I expect most of you now know, I'm not involved directly at all, but we are supporting RISC OS development in, yes, and they have acquired the rights from Castle, and it's, RISC OS itself has now been changed from the Castle license, which is a little bit restrictive, but open to some extent, into an Apache license, which is much more open. It's so open that, yes, it is possible to end up with forks of the operating system, and people are saying, oh, but what if CJE do their own version, and RComp do their own version, and LSR do their own version? Well, certainly we're not planning on forking things anytime soon. Just reminding myself over there. So yeah, it's great news, and yes, we'll do whatever. We'll carry on supporting RISC OS in various ways, including through RISC OS development, and we're very pleased with that. And well done to those people that have been involved and those people that have coughed up some money to make that happen, which is appreciated. So yes, we've been busy now. I've had my bag of goodies down here, and I've got a few things, but they're all quite small. Now, quite a few of them I think may have already seen. I think this isn't over a year, but just in case anyone wasn't here last year. The Smalley mouse, this is the thing that for Acorn, early Acorn systems, all the early 32-bit Acorns, Archimedes, 310, 4000, 5000, 3020, RISC PCs use the Acorn Quadrature mouse system, and of course no one makes those. So a chap, rather a genius chap in Sweden, Simon Inns, developed a way of using a microcontroller to interface a USB mouse to Quadrature, and we've managed to sort of bundle it in a nice, neat, easy, usable format, so we've got those available. Also, going back even further, Econet, the original Acorn networking, the people seem to like having the idea of having a little mini network at home. Various enthusiasts. I don't know if any of you, anyone here got an Econet network at home? Well, certainly a number do, because we used to have a few various either second-hand, even some new Econet clock boxes, and they all sold. So naturally, Simon in Sweden as well has come up with this little unit. And not only does it have two interfaces, two connections there, but it's got two other internal connections, so we can have flying leads coming out. So if you only actually wanted a really minimum network of terminators and a server, a client, then that's all actually you would need to buy would be this box and the terminators. And so we've got those. We launched that a couple of months ago. So it's been the first time at an exhibition. Then for also sort of older computers, a lot of people, a lot of the earlier computers didn't have IE interfaces in them, 3000s, and it's a common one that people wanted to buy interfaces for. And even second-hand interfaces were selling at £100 because that's all they were so rare. But we've managed to get commission Eiffel to make another small IE interfaces. So this is a mini module suitable for a 3000, 3010. Well, could be used with 3020 as well. and these ones they're nice in a number of ways, in that you can connect up to them ID to compact flash and ID to SD adapter interfaces. There are, theoretically, you can connect compact flash and SD up to Acorn's IDE bus, as used on, say, like an A5000 or USB-C, but there is a problem that when it comes to compact flash, most drives don't seem to want to work with it. There was a small select of early drives that used to work with it. Ordinary drives, there was early drives were fine. Once it got to about 20 gigabytes, it got rather difficult on Acorn ADFS bus. But then, if you're wanting to add in the compact flash, a lot of compact flash cards didn't work. We've actually, though, for those people who do want to use them, remove spinning disks from their older systems and using the Acorn ADFS bus, we do have a few compact flash cards that are suitably compatible. We have those as well. But so moving on to these, though, the adapters, if you want to use an SD card, they tend to not work on the Acorn bus, but they will work on these. So we've got a wide range of, you can either go for compact flash or SD, which is pretty much the same thing in a different packaging. So we have those available now, which is good. And then something else that's for early Acorns that didn't have IDE at all, or for later Acorns that where you want to add an extra interface, like a lot of people used to do that in, even in an A5000 or USB-C. IDE cards, no one's been making any of those for quite a while, so someone came up with an open source, I don't know if it's open source, but they were willing to make it available, certainly to us, design. It's a mixture of the development of the firmware, the logic was done by Ian Stocks, and the software was done by John Korting, Dutch chap who wrote quite a lot of software and did the viewfinder cards. So we've now got these available, just literally launched this week. They provide one IDE connection which can have two devices, master and slave like normal. It has support for partitioning, so that means that like on early systems prior to RISC OS 3.7, which only can address 512 megabyte drives, it can be partitioned so you can have 4 512 megabyte drives. So for this one here, we've you could plug in either a 2 gig spinning drive and partition it, or a 2 gig compact flash or SD card and configure that, partition it and format it. Now this one I've got here this version of the interface. We've put in instead of a 44-pin pins, which you would then normally connect up, 44-pin cable to your device, we've put in a horizontally mounted connection, which therefore then means that we can firmly mount the interface and compact flash or interface and SD card to it. Slightly unfortunate thing is that in small quantities that connector is £10 each, and even 25 off it only comes down to about £7 something or other. I found that, yes, if I buy 100 off, I can get it down to about £3.50. But of course that doesn't mean that unless we sell more than 50 of them, we'd be cheaper buying the £7.50 connector. So having that connected on there is an option. So we don't have to put an expected connector on there if you don't need it, but we do have that available. Now we've only got at the moment actually managed to get hold of initially 2, and then they turned around and said, right, yes, we got you 2, but you want to come back and get them. It's a minimum order quantity of 100 from that source. So I've found another source, so it's more expensive, that does 25, but so we're today looking to get some idea as to possibly how many of these we're likely to sell, to see how many we will end up buying of those. So they are very useful, and in addition to, because Andrew, who laid the board out from CJE, he had this bright idea, which is very good, that as you've got I2C on a module bus, why not bring I2C out to a connector? And one of our existing little module that allows you to plug in a replacement real-time clock. So if you've got an earlier system and its real-time clock has died system, rather than trying to have to change, solder on the motherboard and that, you can just plug it. You just need to disable the existing one, which with a pair of little tiny snips, the side snips, will allow you to do. You can then plug in a replacement clock unit here, because some of the early clocks, even if the battery hasn't leaked, some of the clocks do tend to die on that. So we have those, an option built in there. Actually, going back to this interface, we've now worked out that by doing a slight redesign of that real-time clock board, you would be able to fit in, connect up, because the I2C connections for a mini module are the pins in the middle here, and by slightly redesigning it, the layout, we can use the same board to connect into those I2Cs and have this in place at the same time, so it doesn't use up the module bus. So we will be doing that. That's our next little project that we're going to be doing.
That's not very obvious, is it?
The software for this is software mainly on the board was written by John Courting, but the to format and initialize the drive, the partitioning software was written by Simon, but the formatter, he wrote a patch to H-form, and we're pleased that RISC OS Development have let us supply that free version of H-form free of charge. They've given us permission to do that. Then we've got the PyTop 2. Now, the PyTop, that's been quite successful, so there's quite a few of those, but its screen wasn't the best in the world, or also its keyboard wasn't particularly brilliant. So we were glad when the PyTop 2 came along, and it's gives you quite a nice screen, much bigger keyboard, because they've moved the numeric keypad down from the right to the front here, so that you now have room to have a better keyboard. The larger size, almost the same size as well as most laptops, and they've done various other improvements, because there could be some issues with batteries on the PyTop 1, but that has been addressed on this, and does a nice neat job. Just open it up a moment. Was the keyboard to access things slides forwards now. So basically, the Pi sits there, and it's got a special bridge unit that then goes over to their hub part here, which has got a USB hub on it, and the battery controller, and the screen interface. and fortunately the little nano router also will fit in the case, just. There's about 1 millimetre spare on the top there, but it goes in. And then another of the PCBs that Andrew was laying out earlier on this week was the real-time clock for it. Now it's small, you might just see there's a tiny PCB plugged into the little speaker here, just to the right there, there's a little PCB, that's the battery backed up real-time clock for this, and you just plug it in and away it goes. Because if you haven't got a network interface, you wouldn't know what the time is, and your files get saved. So that's that. But the Pi Top is, it has a very good life expectancy, battery life. Sort of people have talked about saying it's lasted up to 10 hours. Your use may vary, as they say, but certainly it's going to be should be fairly good. So that's talking about Pi Top. Let's try again. Yes. If you can bear with me 1 minute, because unfortunately it sounds right next door, because I realised I forgot to pick up one thing. Sorry about that interlude. Yes, I've got to pick up this from the stand. We've basically just managed to recently get hold of some HDMI input small monitors. Up until now, you could have HDMI small monitors, but they were either very expensive or just came as a panel with an interface thing, and you had to try and box and do yourself. And we looked and spent actually a couple of years ago, spent quite a while trying to find a way to box up panels, especially because it'd be ideal for maybe even put maybe the Pi inside the box. But to do anything neatly and good seemed very difficult. But this one, we've got basically 7-inch. 7-inch is. I should have bought a. Sorry, I set up the prices there. Can I just borrow my copy? So I've got. Sorry, I should have brought a set with me. Basically the 7-inch does natively 1024 600, but it actually will accept 1080p. In actual fact, it goes right the way up to 1920 by 1200 interpolated. So accept the signal. Obviously, you get a rather small display on the 7-inch, and then on the 10-inch, it's actually 10.1 they call it. It's natively 1280 by 800 in a nice neat. They're both the other one is a similar, fairly neat looking stand. But again, this one will take up 1080p input. They are very useful. And the 7-inch at £59, very reasonable price. 10-inch is a little bit more expensive than 94, but if you want a small display. We've got a Pi on the stand. Come and have a look and see what you think of it. Then, of course, we've got our Rapido range of desktop computers. The stands, the cases for them can either be, well, they call them tower, but they're pretty small. You can see them on the stand in tower mode. We've got the two main cases that we use, what we call case A, and then the DTX case D, in their tower mode, but they will go on their side in desktop mode. And they are a complete, to all intents and purposes, yes, you plug the power in, your monitor, your keyboard, your mouse, and everything's inside there, the storage, and all the appropriate interfaces in a neat system fully integrated with RISC OS, so that you turn it on, and when you want to turn it off, you just do a shutdown, and it powers the power down, like you used to get on the Ionics. Actually, I think that's the only other RISC OS computer that had, apart from the Rapidos that have proper power shutdown. And they using the later generation of ARM chips, the Cortex A15 chips in there, so that's the latest version, later than any of the other options available for RISC OS desktop computers. So it has basically a faster processor than our rivals, and there are pros and cons when considering sort of like the IMX 6-based systems, the titanium-based systems, and the iGET-based systems. There are each one of them has their own particular benefits. Like if you particularly want to have a really large display of more than 2048 wide, then the IMX 6 does that. Although the Rapido TI, the titanium-based systems, that can do larger ones by utilising 2 monitors. And actually, there's one monitor that will accept 2 inputs, and you can put the 2 side by side, so it looks like it's doing 1920 twice. Myself what that monitor is. Yeah, I think that one, well, it comes out at 2560 by 1440. You can display that on your titanium. But both by utilising the later processor, both the titanium and the iGET are the fastest sort of systems available. Their SATA interfaces is the fastest that's available. Some of the tests seem to suggest that the iGET is slightly faster than titanium. Titanium, by having its 2 monitor outputs, can be very useful for some people. That may be worth paying the extra, because the titanium systems is the most expensive of the options, but some of them people, that may well be worth spending that extra. It does have one or two other extras, like 2 network ports and 2 serial ports, but nothing nowadays really normally uses serial. And on the network ports, RISC OS doesn't utilise the extra port there, so particular benefit for it. So I think that covers most of what I've got. Just a second. Oh right, yes, a couple other small things. In actual fact, all these small little things that we're now doing reminds me of the little cartoon I saw in one of the computer magazines 30 years ago. And it was saying that one chap was saying, "Well, you heard about the Acme microelectronics company? They're so successful, and they've moved into smaller premises." Which I find amusing. But anyway, so tiny little board. This goes with Pi 0, and when using this board, it gives a Pi 0 2 extra USB and the Ethernet port. And the Pi 0 so in the same footprint as a Pi 0. So when it's cased together, it fits like that. So that can be very useful for some people. And then another little thing that I forgot to show earlier, and this is one of the 44-way, so it's still sealed in its bag. Don't think this stuff will tear. No, it won't. This is the 44-way IDE to SD card adapter. It takes full-size SD, so you can use a micro SD with the suitable adapter. But I think that covers most things. Now, if anyone's got any questions, we've still got... 3 minutes. No?
Oh, it's the next person's on.
Oh, sorry. Yes, yeah. If anyone's got any questions, please shout whilst I'm tidying my stuff away. I'll answer. And the other thing was, sorry. Bring on beefy. We do have, basically the pink price list covers Raspberry Pi type stuff. The white general systems and that, and now all our other odds and ends are on the yellow flyer. Sorry. And we have more of those on the stand if you haven't already picked one up at the start. But thank you very much. And if you've got any questions, please shout now or come and see us at the stand.